From the outdated to the innovative, NFL stadiums take many different forms. With some new and anticipated homes for NFL teams on their way, we rank each NFL stadium from worst to best. And before we get started today, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Number 30, Redskins, FedEx Field. Redskins fans are waiting patiently for a new place to call home, and owner Dan Snyder has been trying to push for a new building for years. Among FedEx Forum's biggest problems is terrible transportation to the stadium, which is built nowhere remotely convenient for fans that need public transportation. As far as the stadium itself goes, the completely lackluster features of the building paired with a poor field quality makes for an uninspiring event for fans and players alike. Number 29, the Bills, New Era Field. Despite its name, New Era Field remains one of the most outdated stadiums in the NFL. Built in 1973, the stadium's features are stuck in the last millennium while not appearing to have the historical satisfaction of other old stadiums. On top of that, Buffalo can experience some terrible weather conditions that take a toll on the field and its stands. Luckily for the Bills, they have a loyal and rowdy fan base that can withstand the conditions. Number 28, Bengals, Paul Brown Stadium. Paul Brown Stadium's downfall lies in its lack of remarkability. With one of the lower fan attendance rates in the league and no particular parts of the stadium that stand out, the experience of being in the stadium just doesn't compare to others on this list. Number 27, the Jaguars, TIAA Bank Field. There was a time when the Jags' home stadium would have ranked even lower on the list, but their recent renovations and team success have given them an uptick. Nevertheless, the aging stadium itself remains somewhat unremarkable compared to other stadiums, but will have to do for the team on their rise in popularity. Number 26, Panthers Bank of America Stadium. The Panthers head office has made some very necessary renovations in the past few years, but many more need to be in store for the venue to upgrade itself significantly. The same building as when the team expanded into the league in the 90s, it definitely holds on to the increasingly outdated environment. Number 25, Titans Nissan Stadium. The Nissan Stadium remains stale in appearance and features despite its avid fan base and great location in Nashville. The stadium itself is a great place for tailgating and getting fans riled up, but some serious renovations to garner even more excitement in the stadium are needed so that the Titans could have one of the better home fields in the league. Number 24, Dolphins Hard Rock Stadium. Hard Rock Stadium remains one of the older stadiums around the league, but recent renovations have upgraded the facility greatly. Improved seating and larger screens have marked up the quality of some of the farther away seats, but the poor location of the building works against the stadium and fan base. Number 23, Browns First Energy Stadium. The Brown Stadium falls into the continuing theme of poorly aging 90s venues. While there's nothing objectively bad about the stadium, there also isn't much of anything to make it feel like a spectacle. Also, rough winter conditions can make an uncomfortable viewing for the fans. One positive aspect for this stadium is its great location, right near Lake Erie. Number 22, Buccaneers Raymond James Stadium. The Bucs' home field is starting to show some of the decades-long age that many stadiums are also facing. However, a great fan atmosphere and decent seating sets it above a lot of the other 90s stadiums on this list. Also, the pirate ship in the stands is a nice plus for its rowdy fan base. All in all, the stadium could use some updating, but Tampa Bay's fans don't seem to be too upset about it. Number 21, 49ers Levi's Stadium. This relatively new stadium has some pretty decent features and amenities to pair with some great seats. Fans can look forward to a reasonable and comfortable view of the game. Despite this, though, the fan base remains rather underwhelming at games, and it may be due to a corporate atmosphere that was designed into the arena. Number 20, the Lions Ford Field. The design of Ford Field really lent itself to fan experience and has helped with a revitalization of downtown Detroit in the past years. Unique aspects of the interior really assist with fan engagement, but lack of tailgating setup outside of the building makes it a little harder for fans to get pumped up before the game. Number 19, Texans NRG Stadium. Through a newer, more modern design for the time period, the Texans Stadium pulls together solid crowds to create booming home games for themselves. It certainly separates itself from the poor designs of the 90s, but below par placement for the stadium makes it a little harder for fans, and hot Texas days in an enclosed dome makes it more difficult for the AC to reach everywhere in the building. Number 18, Ravens M&T Stadium. The Ravens Stadium is able to pack it in. With a swarming layout and location in Baltimore for an avid fan base, M&T Stadium is able to create a home field advantage for its Ravens. Other than the fan-friendly location and setup, there isn't too much more remarkable about the stadium to bump it up on the list. Number 17, Bears Soldier Field. Opened in 1924, the Bears Stadium is the oldest in the NFL. With complete renovations in 2002, the building was able to greatly upgrade their amenities to fit modern crowds, but in an attempt to keep the historic feel of the old building. Some have said the mashup of old and new is a bit awkward, but nevertheless, the Bears were able to greatly upgrade a historic stadium. Number 16, the Jets and Giants Stadium, MetLife Stadium. MetLife Stadium found success in its great seats for large crowds in the modern stadium and does so while splitting its time between the Jets and the Giants. It's quite a feat to switch over an entire field for two different games on the same field, but MetLife makes it work. Ticket prices can be pretty hefty, and it's pretty odd that the stadium that hosts two New York teams is in New Jersey, but all in all, it doesn't take away from the solid fan experience. Number 15, Eagles, Lincoln Financial Field. Lincoln Financial Field is home to some of the rowdiest fans in the NFL. Supporting those fans is a great layout and location in the city for tailgating so fans can pregame before the birds hit the field. The stadium itself has typical modern amenities that are better than some, but not as good as others. Number 14, Patriots Gillette Stadium. The Patriots' winning culture has permeated to its stadium too. With great tailgating and good seating, fans are able to get as rowdy as they want in preparation to watch their Super Bowl caliber team. Features like the lighthouse and great video complex make the fan experience even better. The only thing pushing it down on the list is because its location may be hard to reach for a lot of fans. Number 13, Broncos and Power Field at Mile High. The Broncos Stadium provides a great game experience for fans regardless of being nearly 2 decades old. The stand setup makes for a thunderous crowd that provides great home field advantage for fans. The stadium is also one of the most accessible for fans in the NFL. It may get rather cold in the winter, but Denver fans are used to that. Number 12, the Colts Lucas Oil Stadium. Lucas Oil Stadium is also home to the NFL Scouting Combine, and for good reason. This arena is easily accessible, and the unique seating makes sure there isn't a bad seat in the house. The weather, like other places, may get pretty bad, but that doesn't deter the football-loving city. I mean, after all, it's indoors. Number 11, the Saints Mercedes-Benz Superdome. The Superdome may be old, but it carries on that same charm that emanates from New Orleans. The arena may not have all the amenities that others do, but fans are able to go wild at the Superdome and continue to party into the streets. The Saints Stadium experience may be one of the most fun in the league. Number 10, Cardinals State Farm Arena. While the arena isn't surrounded by great places to hang out before or after games, the stadium itself is suited toward huge football events. With a great crowd setup and huge screens, the State Farm Arena is perfectly suited for big games, and that's why it's on the regular season rotation of Super Bowl and Final Four games. Number 9, Steelers Heinz Field. Even though the stadium is aging, Heinz Field is one of the coolest looking stadiums in the league. With an opening in the side and the river right outside, it's no wonder it was used for a scene in Batman: The Dark Knight Rises. They also host some of the loudest crowds in the league. Number 8, Chiefs Arrowhead Stadium. Speaking of loud crowds, Arrowhead Stadium is one of the most beloved stadiums to its own fans. Its older appearance and feel leads to a purer experience in watching football and allows for diehard crowds to get it going for their team. With a great seat setup and plenty of room for tailgating, the Chiefs showed that they built the stadium right all the way back in the 70s. Number 7, Seahawks CenturyLink Field. The Seahawks are notorious for their absurdly loud crowds as well, showing just how well their stadium is set up for fans. Along with that, the stadium is set up in a beautiful part of Seattle and allows fans to get riled up before and after their games. No matter what team you are, it's intimidating going into CenturyLink Field. Number 6, Vikings US Bank Stadium. US Bank Stadium may be one of the coolest venues in the league. With technical advances and a plethora of screens around the field, it's no wonder why Minnesota was the latest host for the Super Bowl. Along with that, the bright purple seating and end zones make for a cohesive look with and without fans. Number 5, Falcons Mercedes-Benz Stadium. The Falcons were gifted a new stadium just a few years ago, and it shows with a new and revamped setup. Interesting seating paired with a cool video system in the middle makes for a very modern look and experience for fans. The stadium has also proved its fans' friendliness with its low concessions prices, allowing fans to not have to spend an arm and a leg just to watch a game. Number 4, the Raiders Allegiant Stadium. Freshly built for the Raiders, Allegiant Stadium was a much-needed upgrade for a team that would have ranked at the bottom of this list for their stadium last year. The stadium itself looks as modern as it gets. Its moving parts roof will allow ample airflow into the building while also protecting fans from the hot Vegas elements. Along with this, the stadium will have some of the best video systems out there. The only thing keeping this stadium from the top is that it's not been used yet. Number 3, the Chargers-Rams SoFi Stadium. The Chargers and Rams will be sharing one of the most technically advanced stadiums built to date. The stadium has a retractable roof, allowing the players and fans to be indoor or outdoor upon will. Walkways near the top of the building, expandable seating, along with various other technological ingenuities in the building makes it look like it is straight out of the future. Like the previous new entry, the only reason it's not at the top is because it seems unfair to put an unused stadium at number 1. Number 2, Cowboys Stadium. Cowboys AT&T Stadium, known as Jerry World to many, the huge arena built in 2009 kicked off the trend on spending billions of dollars on stadiums. With a crazy amount of seating and a huge jumbotron above the field, football lovers in Dallas are able to express just how much they love football in a very uniquely Texas way. Number 1, Packers Lambeau Field. The Packers Stadium is home to the best mix of modern and old-fashioned essence to their stadium. Built in 1957, the building was able to hold on to what kept their field special, while making the necessary updates to keep the place relevant. Green Bay fans are able to entertain themselves at an exhilarating game that should excite any football purists. Agree with our list? What stadium would you rank at number 1? Let us know in the comments down below, and don't forget to subscribe and like for more content just like this. Until next time, have an awesome day.